If you've ever tried to set up art time for your kids and then immediately regretted it because there's papers everywhere and now you have 47 drawings you don't know what to do with, then this video is for you. Because there is one material out there that has made art time in our household so much easier. And it is this, Sketchbooks. I'm Megan Lee Acosta, an art teacher and mom of two, and one thing I hear from parents all the time is that they want their kids to create more art, but it just feels like a lot. So in our house, sketchbooks are the default paper. And I genuinely think sketchbooks might be the most underrated supply you can give a child. When my kids want to draw or paint or make literally anything, sketchbooks are the first place that we reach. And that tiny shift makes creativity so much easier to say yes to. So this idea actually goes all the way back to when I was a kid, and I still have my very first sketchbook. And I remember feeling like it was like my own little world, just a place where I could explore and always have something to do, and also a place where no one could tell me what to do. I also processed some feelings and emotions in here. I'm not gonna show you all the drawings because they're questionable. And by first sketchbook, I'm saying I think I was in kindergarten or first grade, and I distinctly remember on this day going to my sister's swim practice and being extremely angry at her for something. I'm pretty sure it was that she had drawn in my sketchbook without asking. So I did a little drawing of her jumping off the diving board, which is less than flattering on purpose. So anyways, there's 3 benefits that I want to share with you. The first one being that I really feel like sketchbooks lower the barrier to creativity. So instead of needing an entire art setup or a box kit or a craft idea off Pinterest, anything like that, kids can just grab a sketchbook and some kind of drawing material and go. The second benefit is that they're a safe space for experimentation. So as children get older, they're going to become more self-conscious about their artistic abilities. You will notice your child probably around 1st or 2nd grade start to notice other people's drawings and abilities and start comparing themselves to others. And this is kind of like what I consider a pretty critical point in a young artist journey, deciding whether or not they're going to label themselves as artistic or creative. That kind of starts to happen around that age. So a sketchbook gives them a safe space to kind of try things, make mistakes, and just explore without the added pressure of comparing themselves to others in art class in elementary school. The third benefit is that they make life easier for parents, which of course is a great one. So when the drawing is done, it stays in the book, okay? There's no loose papers everywhere unless your child is like mine and occasionally rips stuff out to hand to you. But you can really try to encourage them to leave their drawings in their sketchbook, and then they become obviously a really great way to store all of their artwork without having to buy or do any extra steps. You can literally just close the sketchbook, and on some of these, you'll see I have on the back like Emmy Fall 2021. Okay, so like that's all contained. It's an archive, it's there. So then you end up with this really sweet record of how your artist has grown throughout the years. So while we're talking about my daughter, I will say my 6-year-old currently goes through paper like it is her full-time job. And she's currently in a phase where she wants sketchbooks to be thematic. So if we start page 1 with a corgi, then the whole book's gonna be about corgis. And that's okay. Honestly, I love that because it's fun to see them really dive into an idea and let that idea grow and see how much experimentation comes with it, all of those things. Is that just my child, or do other people's kids do that too? Do we get hooked on one character idea and let it consume our entire personality, or is that just my kid? Sometimes she does use loose paper to explore these ideas, and that's okay. But the sketchbook is always gonna be there. It's always a place where she can go to. And I know from experience that kids will tend to come back to sketchbooks again and again as they grow. Like my toddler right now just uses it as, he loves working in it. He'll make whatever in there. If I put it in front of them, he's not gonna care. He's just gonna do whatever material is there into the sketchbook. Anyways, even though that my children do also use loose paper, we always come back to sketchbooks because they're just such an easy place to start. All right, so if you want to do this at home, I do have a few quick tips to make the sketchbook process better for you. So tip number 1 is going to be to look for a mixed media sketchbook. And this is just going to allow you to use obviously multiple materials in it. So it'll hold paper, paint, pens, watercolor, without the paper tearing or buckling too much. The second tip would be to look for a paper weight that is at least 80 pounds or above, so that it's heavier and can really hold those wet materials as well. And then the third tip is to keep the sketchbook somewhere that's easy to reach. So we have some in the art bin that lives in our dining room hutch with all the other drawing materials that my kids have access to at all times. And then my daughter has one in her room. And then I even like to carry smaller ones with me in my diaper bag or purse so that when we're out and about or at restaurants, I've got something that my kids can do. I really believe that every child deserves a space where their ideas can grow and where they feel safe to experiment. And sometimes something as simple as a sketchbook can offer that environment to them. If you're looking for more simple ways to add creative rhythms to your home, go ahead and drop down to the description of this video and grab my free ultimate guide to age-appropriate art supplies.